Special edition of Chat Time with Yang Mulia Tunku Aziz Tunku Ibrahim, Vice Chairman of the Democratic Action Party. Now, before the break, I asked you a question about Anwar Ibrahim. You said you didn't know him, but yet in 2008, in the New Sunday Times, you wrote an article that says, "Cut the theatrics, Anwar, and let Malaysians get on with their lives." That doesn't sound to me like somebody who doesn't know Anwar. What are some of the issues that you have with him?
Well, I've always maintained that once you join a political party and operate under its banner, if you want to leave it for any reason, you do not jump to another party. Particularly the whole, you hold public office, either in the state or at the federal level. You should give up your seat and go out and stand for election under your own steam. Many people will say, yes, that's naive thinking, politics, really. I mean, they don't do it like that in politics. Okay, but my point here, when I wrote that article, was when Anwar was saying that by a certain date he would become the Prime Minister, they will all be going to Putrajaya, etc., because a large number of Sabah politicians would jump over to his party. Now, that to me was certainly something that I did not approve of. And I think, that kind of behavior is what makes politics.
But you do know that under Pakatan Rakyat, which DAP is part of, when everyone's vouching for him to become the next Prime Minister, this is something that you disagree with. You're not aligned to in terms of views of your party, correct?
Correct. But here the point is, I've made it very clear. When I decided to join a political party, I did not join Pakatan Rakyat. I joined the DAP.
Right.
Yeah. So don't expect my views to coincide with theirs 100%. I have certain views about past. I hold certain views about PKR, just as I have my views about DAP.
But say in the likelihood that Pakatan Rakyat does become the official government of Malaysia, and you were still in DAP, and then Anwar Ibrahim becomes the Prime Minister, wouldn't that be a problem to you?
It wouldn't be, because, personally it would be a problem.
Right.
Because that's not what I want to happen.
Right.
But as an ordinary party member, I will hold no position. I have no ambition, to be a cabinet minister or to be whatever it is. So therefore, I will be out of, if you like, the inner circle. I will be an ordinary member. And, if the decision is to make Anwar the Prime Minister, then, so be it. So to me, it's not a problem. But on a personal level, when I wrote that, I was writing on a personal level. I had not joined any political party. I was a columnist for the New Sunday Times, merely expressing, my views.
And Tunku, why do you think that DAP is prepared to accept Anwar as the opposition leader despite his tainted and also questionable image and reputation?
Do you have an opinion of that?
Well, yes, I suppose, I suppose for the sake of the unity of the coalition, they would have to have someone anointed as the leader of the movement. That doesn't surprise me at all, because he could be anybody. Yeah. But why they have to choose Anwar is because, Anwar seems to be the person best suited to their needs.
And are you comfortable with the talk saying that DAP is actually dictating paths, being under the coalition of Pakatan Pembangkang?
I wouldn't say that, because I think PAS is no pushover, and I don't think you can subordinate PAS. They have their own ideas and they have their own strengths and they know it. So I think it's really, the three parties are now trying to find some form of accommodation. Sometimes, of course, differences emerge. That's to be expected.
Tunku, the opposition is of the opinion that the government is doing a less than satisfactory job. And do you think Pakatan can form a better government for Malaysia? Looking at even when you voiced out an opinion and what had actually happened to you.
I think, to answer your question, they always say the government is not doing this right and not doing that right and so on and so forth. Now, from my experience, not as a politician, but as a corporate man, it is so easy to say this is not right and that is not right and so on and so forth, but don't make it a habit. But what I find, for me personally, which is not really acceptable, is the fact that, you give the government no credit at all. The government is all bad. Now, come on. They have been in place for 50 years or more. And if they had done nothing, if they had been all bad, would we even be, in our present, state, in our own country? Now, I am not saying that everything they've done is right, but at the same time, everything they've done is not all wrong. The point I think that we should all make is, yes, they've done, on the whole, on balance, a reasonable job, but they could have done better. Then, back to your other question, would the opposition, if they got into power, be able to do better? That is, of course, left to be seen. But, we have to go on the basis of their record, their performance. Yeah? And naturally, they have no experience.
And Tunku, if you look at today's situation, there are drastic changes in the sense of policies and reaching out to the rakyat, and a lot of things has been done by the current ruling government. So, what kind of extra changes do you think that the opposition can bring if you see the current government is actually reaching out to the people and they fulfill the need of the people?
I can't disagree with you there, because, I have watched, as an objective Malaysian, that what the government is doing, they're heading in the right direction. They're putting in place transformation programs, which will bring about the sort of change that we have been yearning for, that we've been fighting for.
Which means the government is in the right track.
The government is on the right track. There are things which perhaps could be done better. And I am sure, they are listening, and I'm sure they have people who are now saying perhaps a little, tweaking here and a little adjusting there, would perhaps make the whole thing better. And I have absolute confidence that, and although a lot of my detractors, some of the people watching this program will say Tunku has been bought over, by UMNO, and some people have already said that been paid millions of dollars by the MCA. So be it. That's their view. Let them enjoy themselves. Because, as far as I'm concerned, this seems to be kind of standard script for anyone who disagrees with them. Now, can they do a better job? It's not easy, to govern one of the most difficult countries in the world. We may say we can do better, but what experience you really can bring to bear on this monumental task of running this country? This is a multiracial country, multi-religious, multicultural. You pass a set of laws which may please the Malays, for example, but which the Chinese will not be happy with. Or the Indians will think that, they don't like this, the Malays like it, and so, all this, it is like walking a tight rope. It's not easy, I wish everybody well. The thing is to think in terms of the interest of our people. For some politicians, get to Putrajaya and we will change everything. Now, that is easier said than done. So my plea is, the government is listening. We have made our protest known to them. But don't forget, they are a legitimate government elected by us. And they are there. Go and talk to them. All right, we have made our point. We have had 3 protests. And do you think we need any more? The government is listening. And although, I belong to an opposition party, I can see the merit of what they're doing. I can see the virtues of what they're doing because they are listening. A non-listening government will not be doing all of these things. We always think we can do better, but really give them a chance to show that what they're doing is going to be for the benefit of the country itself.
Tunku, my last question for you. With all that which is happening now, do you have any plans to resign, or do you think DAP is going to sack you, and what are your plans after this?
Well, I've been warned by friends and colleagues that I should be prepared to be sacked. I have no problem with that. But so far there's been no indication from the top leadership that this would be my fate. You ask me, would I resign? But I think, the time has come for me to take a hard, very serious look at my own position within the party culture, the party system. I naturally have received a lot of very helpful advice from my immediate family, from friends, and other well-wishers. And I think based on what they have said, and given the very deep chasm, very wide differences now, which are irreconcilable, there is no alternative but for me to seek to withdraw with some dignity left. And I will therefore resign my membership from the DAP, and I will be advising the party within the next few minutes. And in doing so,